Hi guys, this is Extreme Carlos. On today's video, I'm gonna give you my thoughts and my review of Marvel Studios Secret Invasion series, episode 1. Episode 1. Gravik Gravik versus Thalos. So here we go, guys. I really enjoyed this first episode of this awesome series because obviously we we get to see we return to or we get to see our old scroll friends like in the title of my video, or that I'm gonna put in the title of my video. We're gonna in this first episode we explore the we get to go back to the time where we left off in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. When Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers left Nick Fury, and to protect the Tesseract, and she went into outer space to find a new and prosperous world for the carrying and and victimized species of the Skrulls by the Creed. Again, Captain Marvel left Nick Fury to protect the Tesseract, and she went into outer space to find a new prosperous world for the Skrulls. But in this at the beginning of the series, we get a recap. We get a recap of what happened to all our favorite Marvel characters after the blip, like when they turn into Parmesan cheese dust. Yes, Parmesan cheese human dust created by Thanos. But again, this is approximately 5 years after the Avengers beat the great and mighty powerful Thanos in Avengers Endgame. So like I said, every one of our good friends at Marvel friends got dusted by Thanos, but as we gotten away from the events after the blip, we have discovered that some of our favorite characters, like Ant-Man's daughter Cassie, is all grown up, and we get to see her, and we got to see her in Ant-Man 3, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania. But the most anticipated character that we were wondering about was where in the Red Hulk. Yes, where in the Red Hulk was Nick Fury when Thanos made him into Parmesan cheese, human dust. Well, we get our answer. We get our answer. He's been jamming in space. Jamming in space. He's been jamming in space, making or building or crafting a Marvel headquarters space station called. Forgive me, guys, if I can't remember the name of Nick Fury's new and shiny space station that he created for Shield, but it's very cool. So that's where he has been all along. But now in this series, we also get to see our Nick Fury's best friend, Nick Fury's best Skrull friend, Skrull guy friend, Thanos, and apparently Thanos is the Skrulls have split up into two groups. One commanded or one led by Thanos, who wants prosperity for his people, Skrulls, and to be welcomed by us humans without prejudice and without retaliation of imminent doom. Meanwhile, this other group led by a rogue Skrull, or led by a rebel Skrull named Gravik. In this case, Gravik Skrull group wants to destroy all of humanity with his Skrull group, and like in Captain Marvel, we get to meet the Skrull species as shape-shifting and change form and a change of form species that they can transform into anything any human that they want. Imagine if a Skrull were to transform itself into Abraham Lincoln. That would be a big mess. But anyway, so Thanos has been trying to, Thanos and Agent Maria Hill have been trying to reconnect with Nick, with the director of our favorite Marvel agency, our favorite MCU agency, Shield, director Nick Fury. But like I said, he's been jamming in space. He's been off on a spiotic, yes, I just made up that word. A spiotic vacation. But it was not only a vacation, it was a vacation to build this new and shiny new Shield headquarters, outer space headquarters for Shield, which I believe we get to see a little bit in the trailer for Captain Marvel 2, Captain Marvel 2, or better known as the Marvels, that is coming out in November. In November of this year. So that's the first. So technically, we have seen Nick Fury, Shield's new space station in the first two teaser trailers of the Marvels, but uh like but Maria and Thanos in his unscroll human form as a government official, and of course Maria Hill being herself, she's not a scroll, have been trying to communicate with director Nick Fury, but they haven't been successful. They haven't succeeded with that yet, until out of the darn blue sky, out of the darn Marvel blue sky, Nick Fury comes down from his biotic adventure slash construction mission of this new SHIELD space station, and then Thanos and of course Maria Hill ask him, where have you been? Where have you been all this time? What have you been doing after the blip? Maria Hill tells Agent Hill says, or tells Director Fury that she has been trying to locate him for years, for the past 3 years, but there was no sign of you, Director Fury, or Nick, and Thanos said the same thing, and Thanos is really worried about the current situation with this new and rebel group of Skrulls that are following the rebel rogue Skrull of Gravik, and Thanos says to Nick Fury when they finally get together and have a conversation, while at the same time Maria Hill is with hiding out with Thanos and Nick and Director Fury, and Thanos says, "Welcome back, my friend," or something like that, and Director Fury or Nick Fury says, sorry about your wife. Sorry about your wife, Thanos. I'm really sorry about your wife. Thanos, and then as we get later on in the first episode, we see that Thanos is just worried about the situation with his peaceful group of led by him of Skrulls. Meanwhile, the group led by led by Gravik, want to destroy the human race, and they're and Gravik has infiltrated himself into a very international circle of leaders, which is NATO. Now, Gravik's human shape-shifting form, he's pretty. Gravik's human form, unscrolled form, is he looks pretty handsome and pretty good looking, but with again dark intentions. So Gravik has been able to infiltrate himself in his human form with other world leaders. What I mean by other world leaders is that a lot of his like 5 or 6 scrolls of Gravik's rebel group have shapeshifted themselves into world leaders like like, for example, one of Gravik's followers has shapeshifted himself into the secretary of NATO. NATO, guys. NATO and a couple and 2 more have shapeshifted into the Prime Ministry of London of England and another has shapeshifted himself or herself into the leader of Taiwan. Meanwhile, the other section of Gravik's rebel scroll group have built their own reputation have built themselves a reputation without being unscrolling themselves. Yes. Basically this other group that they call themselves Russians against Americans have shapeshifted into human being, into us, regular people. But again, members of this into this Russians against Americans group, led by Thalos' daughter Kai. Again, guys, sorry if I mispronounced Thalos' daughter's name, but Kaya, or Kala, who is played by, in her unscrolled form, unscrolled form by Game of Thrones alum. Yes, Khaleesi herself. Khaleesi herself, the dragon queen. And guys, I have to admit, I don't really care for Game of Thrones. But anyway, but that was his daughter, Kala. Kala Kala is played by, in her unscrolled form, Amelia Clark, aka better known as to you guys who adore and just love Game of Thrones, Khaleesi herself, Amelia Clark, and Amelia Clark as Thalos' daughter in her unschooled form is pretty cool, pretty great. But I know some of you might have thought that right after the blip we would not only see Thalos being a great leader, but also Thalos with his daughter by his side. But that's not the case. Somehow Gravik has put toxic thoughts in Kaya's mind to turn against her own father, and therefore Kaya has become a follower of Gravik, who claims to be the rightful leader and the savior and the one person that can save the scroll population from us humans, and from hurting and from killing the scroll population. The scroll population. So that's pretty. So Kaya is basically has become a poor Thalos has just his relationship with his daughter has deteriorated to such a degree that now Kaya is now following this rogue scroll leader in Gravik, who believes that he's the savior and protector of the scroll population, and who wants to destroy, who believes that if he infiltrates enough into the UN or NATO in this case, he will destroy us humans from ever hurting the scroll population ever again. And the Russians against Americans group is a very dastard, a very sick and perverted group that that they that that they that later on in the first episode, in this first epic episode, they basically bomb Russia, or bombing Boomgrad. Yes, for Stalingrad. Boomgrad, 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 and basically the whole town square of Russia, a town square of Russia is destroyed by this bomb, by this bomb. And not only that, Gravik shapeshifts himself into Director Fury and Maria, and shoots and kills our favorite our favorite heel agent besides Agent Coulson, Maria Hill. But not only that, we also get to see our friends from across the pond. We get to see Nick Fury, Director Fury, have tea with our friends from across the pond. The guys and girls of that tell James Bond what to that give James Bond missions to save the world from, again, evil people, or in this case, evil Skrulls, from destroying the human race. So, before Agent Hill gets killed by Gravik, we see Director Fury meet up with Sonya. Yes, Sonya. Guys, again, I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name, but Director Sonya, who's the equivalent of Director Fury for Marvel, for the MCU's version of the MI6, and just like Nick Fury, she's a tough cookie. She's a tough woman. She's Joan of Arc. She could kick Thor's butt if Thor ever messed with good old jolly England. And not only that, but in a flashback, a couple months after Captain Marvel left Earth to go on to other adventures in outer space. We get to see a young Nick Fury with his newly put eye patch in a building that holds approximately, to my knowledge, according to the flashback, my estimation, at least 1,000, around 300,000 of Skrull refugees, and of course, young Director Fury is in this refugee camp building. Then we get to see Thanos' late wife introduce Nick Fury to Gravik in his scroll form, in his scroll form, and Thalos' late wife in the flashback tells Nick Fury that Gravik has lost his parents, and Thalos' late wife in the flashback says to Nick Fury, Can you guide him? Can you be a sort of mentor and guide him gradually and slowly into society, and be a mentor for Gravik, and then at the end of the episode, at the end of this awesome first episode, at the end of this first awesome episode, we finally get to see Director Fury after a long day of running and just hiding out from Gravik's forces, go to his house and meet up with his wife, who's not what she seems to be. Yes, Nick Fury's wife, our favorite director from Shield. Yes, Nick Fury's wife is a Skrull. Yes, a Skrull. A Skrull. a Skrull. A Skrull. And but just like Thalos, when Director Fury finally comes back home, Nick Fury's wife shapeshifts into her human form. But since Nick Fury has been out for the count for all this time, Nick Fury's wife turns back into her normal form of a scroll. And that's the end of the first episode. So guys, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you thought. What are your thoughts on this first awesome episode of Marvel Studios Secret Invasion? And let me know. And put a like and hit a like and hit that like button, and let me know if you were a member of Thalos' group. Who would you shapeshift? Who would you shapeshift as? Would you shapeshift as a famous as a person from Hollywood, like I don't know, Brad Pitt, somebody else. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.